Welcome to the Yard of Greatness. My name is June Allen and this is Yard TV. I talk about racism as a system. The only good system is a sound system. I help you join the dots between racism, reason and your 12-step recovery. Take care of you so we can take care of each other. Greetings family, June Allen here, aka the Mindful Yardie CEO and founder of the Yard of Greatness. So today I'm going to be talking about racial intimacy. So what is it? Now, under the system of racism and white supremacy, there's so much negativity and so much anti-blackness. So when I tell people that I teach racial intimacy, oh my God, they get so excited. Their eyes light up because they're so used to the association with racial. Anything to do with the word racial is something bad. It's always something bad. So, you know, all people are always really curious when I start talking about racial intimacy. Now, to give you a little bit of history, I actually coined the term as part of my own process of re-engaging with my black self. You know, after many years of feeling ashamed of who I was and being ashamed of my blackness, it felt nice to be able to use a word that was about celebrating the intimacy of reintegrating with who I am as a black woman. So this was really crucial. This was really crucial because not just for me as part of my process, but also to share it, because I know that there are many people out there that use the denial and the avoidance as a way of kind of masking the pain of living under white supremacy. Now we know under white supremacy, you know, the whole thing is about us denying ourselves. That's how they maintain control. And they teach us to deny ourselves, to abandon ourselves in 9 areas of people activity. And those areas are economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex and war. Now that's a lot of oppression. That's every area that you can think of. And whether we're aware of it or not, consciously or unconsciously, we absorb that stuff. When we don't accept ourselves, you know, this form of self-abandonment, this denial, it just feeds more pain. It just adds to the pain. I remember working with a brother who really struggled with his own self-esteem and his blackness, his identity. And, you know, it was very painful for him to talk about the fact that he could only date white women because his mother was very abusive, and it triggered a lot of intense pain whenever he tried to be intimate with a black woman. So, you know, there are layers to this stuff. There's the pain, obviously, that he felt around his mother, which was triggered by black women. There's the external oppression, which feeds the black pain, that feeds the unworthiness. And then there's his own self-hate, the fact that he's absorbed all of this stuff and he just recycles the pain from his mom and from white supremacy. So essentially he just becomes trapped in his own black pain. And this was very difficult for him, and because he wasn't being racially intimate, he didn't understand his own blackness and what was happening to him, that it just became very difficult. And I identify so much with his story because there was a time in my life where, you know, I only dated white men because I was in so much pain around my family, around my dad, around my mum, and the dysfunctional relationship that I had with them, that it was too painful for me to actually engage and be intimate with other black men, because it was too triggering for me. It was just so painful. But I'm so grateful that, you know, being in recovery and actually going through my own personal process of empowerment, that I was able to understand and join the dots and begin to process that pain. So then the more accepting I was of myself, the easier it was for me to actually engage with other people that looked like me. And that was just a really beautiful thing. So racial intimacy is so important, so crucial. This is why self-reflection is so important. This is what it truly means to know thyself. It's not just about, you know, knowing yourself is not just about black history. You know, emotional intelligence and understanding that part of ourselves is absolute gold, and it's really going to help you make some much more sober decisions around who you are in the world, how you show up in the world, how you show up in your relationships when you really understand yourself. And you can begin to start understanding who you are and how you respond to things just through simple journaling. Just start journaling around your blackness. You know, how do you honestly feel about it? How do you cope with the daily oppression under the 9 areas of people activity? Are you compassionate with yourself? You know, do you act it out? Do you take it out on other people? Or do you internalize it and hurt yourself? You know, self-reflection is one of the powerful tools that I teach specifically around nurturing yourself in my new online empowerment training program called How I Reclaimed My Blackness, which I highly recommend, and you can get it at drn.juneallen.net. So to nurture is one of my 3 disciplines from my own personal system for successful racial intimacy. The first one is to discharge, and that means we discharge all the negative energy, the anger, all of that kind of stuff out of our bodies, and we seek to understand it, not to get rid of it. We want to understand it. That's going to help us transform it into something of power. The second discipline is reflection, which I was speaking to you about before, to journal, to understand ourselves, to understand who we are. And the third thing is to nurture. We must nurture ourselves, because white supremacy is so aggressive that we must counteract that by nurturing ourselves on a daily basis. Those 3 together honour the pain and the magic of our blackness. It's about balance at the end of the day. We have to honour our identity and also honour our humanity. So important. You know, in the years that I've been doing this work, since 2009, racial intimacy has taught me that I had a really distorted image of myself and also my community. And I knew that as long as I held on to that shame, as long as I held on to the pain, that I could never live in my greatness. And I knew that white supremacy was always going to be in control of my life, and I didn't want that. I didn't want that for me. I didn't want that for my daughter. I didn't want that for my family. It was just really important for me to be able to work through that stuff and move on and begin to empower myself. You know, today you can also begin to have a deep, intimate relationship with your blackness. And if you're ready and willing to start doing the work, you can get started with my How I Reclaim My Blackness, the training that I was talking to you before. You can go and get your copy at drn.juneallen.net. If there's anything at all in this video that I've spoken about that you'd like to talk to me about, you can also schedule a call with me at callme.juneallen.net. That's it for today. Your sister in service is signing off. Till next time, take care of you so we can take care of each other. Peace out.